Pitfalls with Oneness. Happy New Month to all of you. Welcome to a month of new possibilities. Do you know why life has been made so easy? It's because of Tap Send. People, Tap Send is here to make your life easy if you want to transfer money to Ghana, if you want to transfer from USA, if you want to transfer from UK, Europe, Canada, a lot of places all to Ghana. And guess what? When it comes to Ghana, there's no e-levy charge. So, what are you waiting for? Download Tap Send on Google Play Store and App Store and be ready for exciting offers coming your way each time, every time on Tap Send.
Tap Send. Send more, spend less.
All right, guys. Ebusia for Mama Kwaba SBTV Africa. So, names about the social issues, entertainment. SBTV Africa. So, now SBTV Sports, the SBTV Africa Foundation. DJ Nyame. And then Friday, thank God it's Friday. Time now about 5:30. 5:34. Now him say Friday is there. Me ba live. Inti many lawyer wisdom akao. Why smart solicitors. Many ne ba be program. Inti where they unya pa. Nene asema ba be kano unya pa. Mo hia sa opportunity we asking. Charity worker, ejuma, obeko UK charity ni ade, obe apply how to get a job ni ade. Ni nyina bi. Questions obesa obisa no, ni nyina bi e wa ase. Nti enemene royal wisdom akao. UK for mo say obetime use tap send o Play Store, App Store. Obetime download this. So na Europe, US ni Canada, mo download tap send. Na mo say ni scam fie mbre busuafo ani ade. Nti me train lawyer wisdom akao me live on Facebook SBTV Africa and I live on YouTube SBTV Africa but I na mo follow on Facebook and I be some of the bra YouTube on a videos no pa until follow you on Facebook and make sure say obedi echi on YouTube obe like obe share obe click on subscribe the ones who nye biom and one say o tap subscribe no so na mba na enkwa de esi ni se bia uni Gmail on log in here it wo Gmail log in username no password e wo phone so log in o tap subscribe na sa no emia adoma na wo no so se na be ya e be boa obedi eche the videos ba bia na me no ka say the video aba before me lawyer aba be we nti we say on message opportunity bi be ba bia on message nti make sure say obedi echi SBTV Africa, the voice of the community. It's me trying a lawyer wisdom akao from wise man solicitors. I say, Mami share mo share Abradu Kwame says hello. Okay, Johnson Kwame says good evening SBTV Africa. Good evening, bro. Charlie, we good though. If they watch us, and make sure so you share them. Share them. Go your page if they watch for YouTube, share the link, invite your friends, may they come. Those way they won't get this opportunity and things. If you watch them, it'll be nice. You go there someplace where somebody go to tell you, oh, connection here before no Bukata. So I beg, watch them, then listen, then get idea, and see what and what you go need. And see, Miss Remo, Joy Kwahini, say big up DJ, and big up yourself too. It's Maminko Street, lawyer Abadia. Yenko straight na many lawyer wisdom akaombra ahomano so na muntie the other ba on the other ba ne very simple coming to the UK as a charity worker. So going to the UK as a charity worker. When then you miss the questions or ba be church mu so we be so obetimi ebisa no but mon subscribe to your channel mon like your videos no. When you bought SBTV Africa videos, na wa like it, na wa share. Amun tan share, but share. Men unkwa men share mo obi na obi so mraso. Nti eno answer nti na ye ko eni ma. Nti lawyer, me twan lawyer yi. Omra na me hu say wa pop up omra na yenko straight. More questions bi obetimi prepare comment section no drop questions ne bra. Obi bi obesa obi sa lawyer drop ne bra. Na time ni do na mama wa answer mo obekan na wa answer mo questions ni nyina nti lawyer wisdom aka wise man solicitors ye twen no nti oba Mo amo share ni nyina so ma me hu baby a wo hwe me free. Wo hwe me free fa. James Ezra Tai. Ezra Tai. Okay, so good evening. I'm watching you live from Kurdistan. Okay. Kurdistan. Okay. Mate Yanko Straight. Lawyer. Where's hello?
Yo, F1.
Me for. Nice one. Akpe na mi.
Benamau.
Lawyer
Yeah.
Wisdom Akaho. Wise man solicitors. Emo akwaba. Na o say akonya ben na pai na den na that pipeline if see here na o say ye hwe ye ba UK as a charity worker. Then e be
Yo, mejo so na etiefo nso na hwefo ina nso ye mamo good evening. First of all, before my call your topic in so no, me pese ye ma Turkey and Syria for unfortunately earthquake need to see horror. Over so many thousands of people have perished. The last time now I'm sure and that it was around 21,700 people now. A FIMO. That is so sad. So our condolences go out to them, and we will have them in our prayers, our thoughts and prayers. Yet some of us have people say, because we work for a wide range of people, your clients some are from Turkey, some are from Syria, who happen to come to us to work for them. And to somehow, we are once also affected in one way or the other. And see our condolences to them. Now, yeah, so wise man solicitors, yeah, and say, about the say, there'll be some facilities to raise funds, genuine means of raising funds to support these people. And TIA available, say, and I already said, if we are approached by any legitimate source, example, that is raised in the UK to support them, we are more than happy to contribute to support our brothers and sisters in Turkey and in Syria. So, wise man solicitors, we are ever ready to support whichever way we can. We cannot solve everybody's problem, but at least and our contribution goes to help her. We believe that is also a positive impact in somebody's life. And our heart goes out to them. Okay, and maybe one or two updates in Subetuja and Sana, my main topic in the soup. Last week, and this week in I believe I did talk about it, about the problems facing with regards to entry clearance visa applications. Ubisa questions be crampo about refuse your application. Now do you have to repeat the same old reason for the refusal if they ask you have you been refused a visa before? Now it depends on the question. Some of the questions would ask, have you been refused visa in the last 10 years? So in the last 10 years, now you've been refused after or outside that 10 years, you don't have to say. But if it is within the 10 years, any SSA will come. But if you say, have you ever been refused a visa? And it doesn't matter whether it is 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, as long as you've ever been refused, you have to disclose that answer to them. But but somehow we have had the same problems this week. We've had decisions that have focused on the same thing, announcing a creative problem. So we want to re-emphasize that please, one person away application, pay attention to the question properly, and then you can respond to it accurately. So one kind of question here, maybe you read the first 2-3 lines without going to the last lines, you don't get exactly what they are asking. If you are not careful, you will answer based on the understanding you have of the first 2 lines. Meanwhile, some of the questions are negatively worded. If you are not careful, you give a wrong response and your application will be refused because you did not respond to the question properly. So please, let's be mindful when we are responding to these questions. Let's be mindful when we are responding to these questions so that it doesn't go to create problems for us. Another thing, so Mekasa Afabahon, is particularly with regards to birth certificate. The problem I am facing is now, se papa no okrom ha, na mama no okrom ha. Na se ono abetna ha about 10 years ago. Na afe na osi okopa ne banaba. Na birth certificate no nansan ya na omo yeye. Wonso si papa yi woni no any contact. Mame na wa ha na osi papa no ne ni contact. Ana mame no ne ni contact. Manso hwe birth certificate no so a omo atwero se hina na di abofra ne call here to register the child. Na watchero sɛ ɛyɛ ne father ana ne mother na ne maame din wɔ hɔ na wo nso na wo se maame wo nho no for the past 10 years wo nho no ɛba ne sɛn na maame no na ɛde abofra no call ɛkɔ register no in maybe last year. Meanwhile, you are saying you have never seen the parent or the mother in 10 years for 10 years now. Then how come say ne maame din wɔ birth certificate no so as the informant? Please, let's all be careful about this because it's creating so much problems, too many problems. Because some of these things can be avoided so that you don't have to waste money. You don't have to spend money to go to an appeal to correct these errors. If you can correct it from the beginning, you don't have to spend thousands of pounds to challenge those decisions if you can correct it before you submit your application. And therefore, yes, please always ensure that these things are done the right way so that it doesn't create problems for you and subsequently for the lawyers who may be dealing with your case. Because once there is a refusal, it makes it very difficult to persuade the caseworker that this decision or this application is fine. They would always go back to the initial refusal. And so please, let's be mindful of that. And also if about the the health and care worker visa route now about and on that basis, it is possible to come to the UK with the health and care visa. Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly very so with that visa. So it is idea now. So let's all again be careful and wrap me home video be will be SC lawyer be SC Obiako report it a care worker and a home a care provider say one sika ansana omo edgy ne money license no that is pretty damning, very damaging. So Bibi let's be careful. And yes, sir, the Home Office, after their investigation, can revoke the license of the care provider. And if the license is revoked, then everybody else who comes under that provision or that sponsorship, you all lose your visas. The record said you have to leave the country or you have to find another way of regularizing your stay in the UK. Otherwise, as I said, upaki unyama no UK ha no. So please, once again, let us be careful and let's be sure we use the legitimate sponsors so that it doesn't create problem for you or for anybody else in future. So that is what I would want to add to this one as well. And again, remember said about teachers. You can also about teachers. A quite BA for teachers. So me about UK ha about juma. Now your mamuti has said you would need a sponsor. So we are teacher now because you would need a sponsor. You need a school. Our sponsorship license. Then they would issue the sponsorship license. Then you can come and teach in the UK. Without the sponsorship license, you cannot come to teach here in the UK. There are 4 African countries: Ghana, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, and South Africa. These 4 countries in the whole of Africa, 4 pet. And yɛbue kwan ama wɔn sɛsie sɛ wɔbɛtumi aba abɛkyerɛ adeɛ teachers bɛtumi abɛkyerɛ adeɛ wɔ UK ha. And then by the end of the year, they would open the floodgates, or they would give the chance to other nationals from all over the world to come and teach in the UK. So, yes, it is good for us to take advantage of the provision, but also let's be sure, it is you come to the right school, they issue the certificate, sponsorship certificate before you come. Uba Bejuma, not so bad, then you come and get stranded. So please let's take note of that. One other thing I want to add before I go to my topic is now ebinom etime matisa ebitime ba with certificate Obabako University. Nanso sir almost at university ni wie na school no they are conducting their search, or they are checking to see if the documents now with the application is genuine. A bit yanya report be document verification report, fraud report. About just a certificate na nipa ne the year application no one school no wompo. Ne nine kra ansisa university leader nanso wanya certificate if you have or school. Please, this is creating a lot of problems. Obi a we the unit the first degree, we degree no to the very last year ultra exams na yaba be catch say the certificate na or the year course no enye genuine. So ebasa na me bisa nipa ne say wankasa waba me hono ana wankasa wakolo ya no hono bisa wo hu say uko university ho ana uko school ho. So one go school ho, then you have no case. Then you shouldn't have pursued the course at all. Uko school ho, then you can challenge them to prove that you were a student in the University of XYZ in Ghana or wherever. But if you did not go to that university, then of course you have no basis of argument or to argue that you were a student there. And also, minimsa nipa bebree pese etu kwan, but yesremo again, make sure you do things the right way. Certificate no, they will check. Another aspect, another thing they also check is when it comes to bank statements. Minimobinso again, or we ne degrees qualification, degree course no hano, and I'm trying to say bank statements now or the year application from a fear Eddie banner bank statement no enye genuine. It was a fake bank statement. And until they had revoked his student license, student visa, I'm sorry, and he is supposed to go back home. Nyame a ɛdom ne say na ɔwɔ family wɔ ha nti yɛde fa family ne so application ɛma no. Now, why do you spend 3 years for nothing? Why do you spend 3 years, go to school, after 3 years, mama catch us a bank statement now with the application now, and yet genuine, and because of that, they are canceling your visa. So please, let's all be mindful of this so that we don't waste time, we don't waste resources going to the university, and then at the end of the day, we are told that the document now, the application is from a FIED banner, and yet genuinity into my certificate. So generally, these are the updates. Now, one thing, minim say, nipa bebre say pese ba bruchira. Eya na ye kasa efa ana ekwan a ya na ye fa so ni ye. Either say uba ensrahwe, ana waware, ana uba school, ana uba be kan papa, ana umame ehu. And no any the normal routes and routes now nipa bebre edi efa so eba ekrom ha. Visit a very good option, but visit no so na nansan there almost refuse. Now, through my search in the immigration rules, me who said there are other ways obi betimi afa so edi aba UK ha. Se ubedu wie na se woni nipa ne eye adwuma wie ana woni nipa ne eye adwuma and only charity ne ye adwuma na se your circumstances change, then of course on that basis ubetumi aswichi whilst you are here. The most important thing is ubedu ekrom ha. Udu krom ha wie na u circumstance esisan ɛhɔ no na yɛbɛgyina kwan foforɔ so ana yɛbɛhwehwɛ sɛ kwan bɛn so na yɛbɛtumi afa na yɛde ayɛ application no ɛde ama wo. Nti generally aware school and of course health and care na abɛyi ɛna teacher for abɛyi ɛna visits ɛna family dependents ɛna aba. And then I have identified one which is immigration rules appendix temporary work, charity worker, charitable organizations. We have Oxfam, we have British Heart Foundation, and different charities in the UK. And near Ubertimian says, as a charity worker, it is possible to come to the UK as a charity worker. It is possible to come to the UK as a charity worker. So, Uber and yes application now, you'll be given the visa to come as a charity worker. Uber and American so circumstances ever the same we are. I know yes, over call, so won't call. It depends on your circumstance. If there is a change in your circumstance, then you will consider either switching to that route or going back home after the time of the period now. Now that will determine whether you would be here for longer or you would want to go back after your the period of stay in the UK. Now, as a charity worker, what do you need to do? What do you need to do? So I will take it step by step. It's a validity requirements for a charity worker. It's a temporary work. The temporary work charity worker route is for a person who wants to come to the UK to do voluntary work for up to a maximum of 12 months. And to get me up by UK and do voluntary work for up to 12 months. That is 1 year. 1 year is a very long time. So within that 12 months, not with circumstance SSR and Nidia to me as we ako sa circumstance nesu. In that case, and sasa ukufie unless wausi a hanukrano and yamide and now me pesame go back to my country. Not me koye not me and sana mebano. That option is there. So, but the most important thing I say in American is that nine ever do a krumha. And they will never do heavy now one person who consua. Yes, after the time of your service or the time of your visa before it expires, you can always go back to your country. Now, so what do you need to come to the UK as a charity worker? As a charity worker. One, you need to have a sponsor. You need a sponsor. Now, before you anything, it says an application for entry clearance or permission to stay as a charity worker, you must meet all the following requirements. Oh, not some, but all the following requirements. One, as I said, the immigration health surcharge fee. You have to pay that. You must have provided any required biometrics. Moving Peak Hotel. That is when you are applying for your visa. And then it says the applicant must have provided a passport or travel document which satisfactorily establishes their identity and nationality. As I said, we check a crowd office, we are Ghana near as I said, with the Uganda passport, and no one on stamp every amount. And then the other one is, which is the most important one, it says the applicant must have a certificate of sponsorship, which was issued to them no more than 3 months before the date of the application. Certificate of sponsorship, which is issued not more than 3 months before the date of the application. And the UNIA certificate of application, and now within 3 months as a set UNIA application. Now, the Bibasan Bisami said, any certificate of application. Certificate of application, meaning set I mean, I believe a lot of people will know what that is by now because we've talked about the health and care workers. You need the employer to issue you COS, Certificate of Sponsorship, Certificate of Sponsorship, which is like a license for you to go and apply for your visa to come to the UK. Let's see, Subium. COS, no, Certificate of Sponsorship, no. I actually say employer no has agreed to sponsor you. My parents to say Ejuma wo kurom ha. My parents to say me a charitable organization. My parents to say me a health and care worker. And my parents to say me a school. Me here obi say about only me Ejuma. In that case, the COS, in this case we are talking about, must come from the charity institution or the charitable organization. I just say, you here obi only Juma for 1 year. So when you say certificate of sponsorship now, I would say about 80% of the work is done. Niakano ayet to go online, complete and submit the application as a charity worker to come and work in the UK. To come and work in the UK. So, Niamika, the most important of all of this is to obtain the COS, Certificate of Sponsorship. That is the most important of all that I'm saying. Now, how do you get a charity that can give you a sponsorship certificate? Go online. Go online and Google. You have to do research. So we are determined so person to kwan eba brochire. So we are determined so person ba unai eka eba krum ha. Please go online, spend time on your computer, Google and go and search for charitable organizations in the UK, and then you contact them. Now, so from here, I may not be able to help you with the charitable institutions, but if you yourself can contact them, then they will be able to tell you, yes, we need somebody to come and work with us. We have Oxfam, we have other charitable institutions, British Heart Foundation, we have Cancer Trust, all different types of charitable institutions are, and our charity institutions are all UK have. They will be able to offer you the certificate of sponsorship. If you call your lawyer, the lawyer cannot help you because he is not a charity. He may not be able to help you. Near Obama, when say go online and then research to get a sponsor to help you come to the UK to work as a charity person, with a charitable, what do you call it, license. Now it says a person applying for entry clearance as a charity worker must provide a tuberculosis certificate. You must have a tuberculosis certificate. That's how you get tuberculosis test, no, to show that when Arabia over spread it like coughing, tuberculosis to come and spread. So you need that certificate. That is very essential. Now, sir, when you sponsor an area, this is what has to go into the certificate. The sponsor has to, one, take your name, but before that, they will have to possibly maybe interview you to be sure, sir, who were enough experience and now you are the right candidate. Sir, omuma wa ejumana who to me ababaye ewaha as a charitable person. Now, so it has to confirm your name, that you are being sponsored as a charity worker, and second, the details of the job and include the start date. Date now we started Jumano, stated by the sponsor, which is no more than 3 months after the date of your application. So the start date of your work must not be more than 3 months after the date of your application. And so COS now you've used it before, and if it is rejected, you can use it again. But if it is refused, you cannot use it again. So not have been used in a previous application which was either granted or refused. In other words, you use a certificate via refuse that. And now you were granted, you cannot use that certificate again. But if it was rejected, yes, but can be used in a previous application which was rejected. If it is rejected because if you want just cannot and I want to sana, that is a totally different one. You can use that certificate again. So there's a difference. I'm sorry. There's a difference between rejection and refusal in this particular case. Rejection is they have not even considered the application at all. Refusal is that they considered it and they deem that you are not eligible or suitable to come to the UK to work as a charity person, and that is where they refuse the application. So that is very important. It has to include your name, your passport details. You have to provide your passport. It has all the details, the start date of your work, and it also has to be a certificate which has not been used before and has been refused or granted. But if it was rejected, then you can use that certificate again. Then the other thing is the sponsor must ensure that the role meets the following requirements. It is a voluntary field which contributes directly to the achievement or enhancement of the sponsor's charitable purpose. And see, charity na odi ejuma ne ma no, nia obekasa wabeye no should directly correspond with the purpose for which the charity is set. The purpose for which the charity is set. If that is the case, then of course, over to me, a application, then you will be granted or you'll be issued your visa to come and work here in the UK. You'll be issued a visa to come and work here in the UK as a charity worker, not work to be paid, but as a charity worker. Then it also says it must be voluntary work and not paid. It has to be a voluntary work, not paid. And see, and yes, I will buy yet with the intention set or with the expectation set, if I were Josika, we were say, now you make me voluntary work and now I won't jammy. Well, the most important thing is that when I do chrome hat, no way you for the period you are supposed to work. And I mean, kind of said, so we do chrome heavy, there is a possibility set with circumstance, but me assessa. And Yamu bet me assessa, a young bet me assessa mount, not wafa and so na why near as I say, and now we are wafa bag once I go back to your country. So it must be a voluntary work and not be paid or otherwise remunerated, including receipts of benefits in kind, except for reasonable expenses as defined in the National Minimum Wage Act of 1998. And no, make me a big kakra so papa transport konebra, but enye idea omo a because omuna they are a charity. They are not employers, they are a charity, and therefore you cannot be paid. Now, if you look at CW 4.3, that's charity worker, paragraph 4.3, it says the sponsor must be authorized by the Home Office to sponsor the job in question under the charity worker route. And the employer, no, the sponsor, no, say on this certificate from the Home Office, and you on to me and sponsor because they don't have the authorization or the authority to give you work to come to the UK. So that is what it is. And to say, who contacted the charitable organization? Besides, almost sponsorship license and almost sponsorship license. Then you can liaise with them. Say, almost edu to one, of course. And yeah, wait me your visa application. Na yedima wa wabakrom ha ababaye ejuma. Now, another requirement is that you must genuinely intend to and be able to undertake the role for which you have applied for the work. And so we are being so ababaye ejuma. Niesha wa bin echi I need the some, but as a also genuine intention, genuinely intend, or you must have a genuine intention set over as a charity worker. whoever you as a charity worker. And say, please, in case they call you to interview you, mama will say, oh yes, I do ye now person ye we de wakuma ye pa who baba ye juma to support omo as a charity worker and tina uba the kromhano. So that is what it is. And it also says you must not intend to undertake employment other than the role for which they are being sponsored. So, Uber, so when a company be ever yejuma as a charity worker, omu pe and a Uber to me or my yejuma. Won't mean kwa yejuma fufro with any other company and any other charitable institution. They are the only persons or the only institution that you can work with. So that is very, very, very important. So that let's bear that in mind. Now, near Air Canon said, if you meet all of these requirements, then they would issue you the visa to come to the UK. Maka from the beginning said we mostly focus on visit visa. A honey, a refuse it. Then we are also looking at health and care workers, and also to say that's air course. And teachers, and also air course. But could be a war so and number for bebre enim, nipa bebre enim ni say charity worker visa. Charity worker visa. Nipa bebre enim say e wo ho. So baba ye ejuma as a charity voluntary worker. But do we are then of course you work with them and then possibly they can even extend your visa for you for maybe another year or so. Then you assess the way things go based on the service you render to them. So that is what it is. That is what it is. Now, what will you need? It says if the applicant is applying for permission to stay and has been in the UK with permission for 12 months or longer on the date of the application, they will meet the financial requirement and do not need to show funds. Now, but Sewuba for the first timer, it says if the applicant is applying for entry clearance or is applying for permission to stay and has been in the UK for less than 12 months on the date of application, the applicant must have funds of at least £1,270. So if Ghana and Eba as a charity worker, and yet as a set unya at least £1,270 at our account. I just said for the first month now wobano. Sasi kanu wa wodi be hwe wo so ansana e bia mo start some support because Sewuba first na woni hwe wo ho almost start amount sika and to support you transport and everything from the beginning, and then you'll be stranded. And nothing I almost say you may have to have at least £1,270 or the sponsor bet me say ever support you from the beginning. In that case, you don't need to show that you have that amount of money in your account. Yes. So this is what it is. So Uber to me actually said you meet this requirement, you meet all these requirements, you have the sponsorship license from the sponsor, a charitable organization, then I can assure you, sir, you will be issued the certificate to come and work in the UK as a charity worker, not as a person who is to be paid, but as a charity worker. So please bear that in mind. So it's not only our area, it's not only students, it's not only healthcare workers, it's not only teachers. And I bet me about UK ha. Charity workers and so bet to me about yejuma ewo krum ha. Now, the good thing about Nene is that Uber to me will partner any womansu etini aba. Now, dependence of charity worker. A person applying for entry grants or permission to stay as a dependent partner or dependent child of church must apply online on the government website on the specified form. And then see, it is possible, sir, Uba as a charity worker and our as a charity worker, over me application and my Wukno, and it will mansu. It is possible. Set with me application for your wife or your husband or your children to come and join you. Here is an application for entry grants or permission to stay as a partner or a child of a charity worker must meet all the following requirements. And also you have to pay the fee, the IHS, pay the application fee, and go and provide your biometrics. Nina idea a woho, but nipa bebree enim say you can come to the UK as a charity worker. Martin is saying no. Straight, I'll go online, Google, search for charitable organizations or charities in the UK, and then contact them and see which ones would offer me the sponsorship license to come and work here in the UK. So, but as a visitor, you cannot switch to the charity worker route. You can't because Ubano will see if you are here as a visitor, you cannot switch to the charity worker route. If you are here as a short-term student, you cannot switch. If your student visa is under 9 months, you cannot switch to the charity worker route. If you are a seasonal worker, seasonal workers near picky fruits, any tomatoes, you cannot switch to the charity route. We are a domestic worker in a private household, and also when you boss and when you madam and abakrum ha, and also want to mean switch and call the charity work route. And if you are let's say a person who is on what do you call it, immigration bail, when you are sitting on ha, and also want to mean and switch and call the charity worker route nusu. So a visitor cannot switch, short-term student cannot switch, a parent of a child student cannot switch, a seasonal worker cannot switch, a domestic worker in a private household cannot switch, and you must apply from outside the UK if you do not qualify under any other route to apply as a charity worker. So therefore, generally, this is what is there. A lot of people do not know. That is why I thought I should bring this option as well. Charity workers. Now, when charity when you contact now only catch us and say that should give you the indication that there must be something wrong. Say a charity they will not be charging you any money for you to apply to come to the UK. So that should be a red line for you, or that should be a red flag for you to know, sir. So almost at know that it is possible that it is not a genuine charitable institution that you have to pursue for them to issue the COS. DJ, so what questions be? I'm more than happy to respond to the questions.
Right, lawyer wisdom, Akao Yedase, say wise man solicitors, say Friday be an emnibia unya daje, near Kasa SBTV Africa. So Yebedase. Now, make sure comment section say Obimu bisa question there na some more fans. Hey, Lorato Anka, what's up? It's how about with it? My sister Bakupe, number 1 fan of SBTV Africa from day 1. I'll see my DJ, then I'll go. Anyway, let me just see. Money questions are maybe I think some okay. I'm going to France in
Obi say, hey, so how will you eat? So, Obi did not say your Facebook say because you're not supposed to pay. You say, hey, so how will you eat? How will you eat it yourself when you come here? By how much you eat?
Lorato Panka no bisa sano. So I think say question. So what I'm getting here, it looks like I'm watching from this, watching from Qatar, blah 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 blah. Want me bisa lawyer question? Hey.
Ebia plenty.
Okay, so let me take this one. Let's take this one from Lai. I think so. I don't know. Bisa question. Let's take this one.
Hello, Mr. Lai Obudai David. Can you give one circumstance under which charity visa can be changed? Oh, that's a good question. All right, and it's a smart one as well. Now, assuming set Abakrumha, wait a more practical example for SVTV viewers. Now, assuming set Abakrumha as a charity worker. Now, during that 1 year, I'm a Juma as a charity worker. Not Mishia or baby. Now, many know we click. Yeah, click, you know. Now, I mean, one thing leads to another to another. Genuine relationship. Not say, you worry. Not say, eba relationship no more. Say, Obano, you're British citizen. And now Obano kwa indefinite leave to remain. And now Obano were 2.5 years limited leave to remain. Because many no ewa enunte met to me ejna me bano so na media yem application to stay in the UK. That is a classic change of circumstance in the UK. Genuine relationship. Anaasɛ abofra no ɛnyɛ me ba mpo ɔyɛ ɔbaa ne ba. Now again, there's a genuine relationship established between the lady and myself. Now we're going out again. Nasa, me are responsible for nibano. Na mabano mano. Me diniko school. Me kofanifi school. And a GP hospital. I'm involved in a child's life. Now school no bet me a letter to confirm say yes, this gentleman is involved in the child's life. He brings the child to school, picks the child from school. He attends parents' evenings. And because of that involvement in the child's life, it is important for him to remain part of the child's life. Based on that, Samiware Mamina, on that basis, that's a huge change in my circumstance. I can shift from the charity worker to a spouse route or to a parent route in the UK. So these are just two examples or circumstances under which a person can switch or a person can move from the charity worker route to the parent or the partner route in the UK. So this is what it is. This is just a quick example for you. Mr. Is it L. Ober? Any charity outside the UK, please? Well, the charities will have to be inside the UK. Any charity aside the UK, please? Is it inside or aside? I think he's asking inside the UK. There are so many of them in the UK. So what you can do is please just go online and Google and find out the charities in the UK. As we are speaking, semiko my phone so see and me enter list of charities in the UK. Charities in the UK. Mami, a lot, yes, list of charities in the UK. It's giving me it's 100 charities, 100% zakat donations, donate to UK charities. It's all there. The list is all there. The list is all there. So please, Age UK, you have cancer research, you have Give Aid to Help Hunger, most popular charities and organizations, Q4, accept. Yes, we have Macmillan Cancer, Guide Dogs, British Heart Foundation, Cancer Research, Great Ormond Street, Alzheimer's Society, St. John's Ambulance, Marie Curie, Samaritans, British Cross, British Red Cross, Duke of Edinburgh, WWF, RNLI Lifeboats, Royal British Legions, London Air Ambulance, Battersea Dogs. I know Battersea Dogs because I used to go for a program around there. Battersea Dogs Charity, Children in Need, Alzheimer's Research UK, Dementia UK, RSPCA, load more. There's a huge Save the Children, Help for Heroes, UNICEF, National Trust, Prostate Cancer UK, Age UK, Salvation Army, Mind, RSPB, Princess Trust, NSPCC. It's a long list of charitable institutions in the UK. A long, long list. So just go online, search for it. Keep British Tidy, Alzheimer's Association, Woodland Trust, the Fair Trade Foundation, Oxfam, Breast Cancer Care, Arthritis Research, MenCap, Comic Relief, Diabetes UK, Dog Trust, Bowel Cancer UK, Bibre. So you have to go on there and search and contact them. They will be able to help you if they have the um, the vacancy or they have the sponsorship license to get you here. Obi Ebisa said, please, do you need IELTS? I have not seen anything with the IELTS test to come to the UK as a charity worker. I haven't seen that. No, I haven't seen that in the requirements. But if I do, I'll put it out. So far, I have not seen any requirement which says you must have an IELT pass certificate before you come to the UK. So, DJ, that is what it is. Can you switch from charity visa to health and care visa? Now, Sawusha health and care visa now. There are restrictions of who cannot switch and who can switch. So let's go there again. So we have health and care visa, health and care visa. Now, Uko and Uswa, we have switched to this visa. Who cannot switch? Who cannot switch says you cannot switch if you're in the UK with a visit visa, you are on a short-term student visa, on a parent of a child student visa, on a seasonal worker visa, on a domestic worker in a private household visa, on an immigration bail visa, because you were given permission to stay outside the immigration rules, for example, on compassionate grounds. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These 7 categories cannot switch. Now, as long as charity for any list ways, it means that you may be able to switch, provided you get the sponsor to work under the health and care visa route. So that is my response to that. Because strictly, this category of people cannot switch. Visitors, short-term, parents, seasonal worker, domestic worker, immigration bail, and outside the immigration rules, people granted leave cannot switch. And so, what do you call them? Charity workers not on this list, and therefore you may be able to switch. What qualification does it require? It hasn't stated any qualification. It hasn't stated any qualifications that you need. So let me quickly just go over. Let me quickly go over what it's required. It says the eligibility. Eligibility is talking about validity or eligibility. It says suitability. A person seeking to come to the UK on the charity visa must have applied for and obtained entry clearance as a charity worker before they can come. 2, the person applying for entry clearance as a charity must, if paragraph A29, 39, and appendix C of these rules apply, provide a valid medical certificate, that is a tuberculosis certificate. They have undergone the pulmonary tuberculosis, and that this tuberculosis is not present in them. That is it. Number 3, the applicant for entry clearance must not have held permission as a religious worker or charity worker at any time in the last 12 months. These are the 3 eligibility requirements. Just these 3. So once you meet these 3 eligibility requirements, you are able to apply, provided you get the sponsorship license from the charity in question. You will be able to apply to come. The most important thing I have said over and over and over is to get the sponsorship certificate. Once you get that, you are about 85-90% done.
That's right, lawyer. But that's wisdom. I'll move questions to be. I think so. I'll answer. So far, I'll answer my questions. Obi bisa about qualification. I think so. I'll answer another that.
Yes, I'll
yes. I think the question be by me okay. Some more question be a quick one answer na you sign it out. Only tell me lawyer wisdom account every Fridays be an 5:30 to 6:30 and to 7. Do I to be 6:30 but I do 7. The highest no cry amro 7 in the pound. 7. And I have about 5:30 they do not questions remember be na more be am be san there but I think say because the okay nyina no like I'm sure say bi wa no abo computer no so na more questions no na more solution answers no bi no dey amay enti when you out to be matter afla but ye kura phones no so internet no was so you radio ade e bisa o say as o call phone so qualification call phone na already my but hey I say oh yen kan o ye be company some di atem so yeah get the why you no go get and no kwa feel no so da o say ketwa na mo nim no mo di phone sa the other chance o connection man obi o share one or two things ya na be about say o connection man no dey juice ka 10,000 pounds 15,000 pounds no mo jam for sa feel no so go be en kind that qualification that will be say nyama miensa will be say we bebre betimi qualify their farm there oh bibia on net no so see ampe o yeah connection man connection
so you're pretty fast into but fast no so na yeah na the problems bebre yeah na the problems
obisa me say Ishmael obisa me say video which question na so buy okay I'm sure we
Hussein Ishmael, I'll say, what are the effects of those who do allow someone to sign for their as their partner because they are on working visa? If you get some of these questions, to be honest with you, I don't respond to them on this air. But Niameka briefly said, "Sir, when him said, Obaninyim, now when him said, and you wuni abufani papa." Na wako akọ di odi akọtu abofra nse sɛ woni abofra ne papa na akyina bi sɛ asɛm bɛba ho ana sɛ ɛkɔ amene ɛba sɛ woni abofra woni abofra papa na wonim pa woni maame mu ndai da woni ne nkita ho bia na wodi odi akọtu so no and no it can be a problem for even abofra no because ɛba omuye hwehwem na mo ho a ombetimi atwa sa passport no mo so omo the British passport ma abofra na ombetimi atwam because omo the ma because ni papa British and ni papa were indefinite nti se china bi omo ho se de bi nipa na ye gina ne so di absit na di ma abofra yi enkan se ye di ma na ombetimi atwa sa passport no mo na once so a wodi ade ne wodi nkotu so wa wonim pa se abofra nya wo ba na wodi akoto so no se eno nso omoya investigation na wuji tum se ampa wonim na woye ya eno nso de wan hwa oboga kodem but se me kan say DJ TME you se bia oba ne bo ha yes oba ne bo ha na tam na onyim no se o bia DJ nyame ene abofra ne papa enye wisdom ene abofra papa na wudi within akoto so say woni abofra papa and no totally different from near wonim pa say enye wo ni abofra papa and I wudi within akoto so my response to this question is say wonim say woni abofra papa ni ma bi wo ho a menye because ebetimi create problems in future
obisi was any question bi ba me who ni question away I say but I think say Augustine Opoku I think say that question we lawyer say we one answer that and I went say
Some factors.
Okay.
Please read my question. Can you switch student visa to charity? Yes, I just looked at the options, but why would you want to switch from student to charity? Because who a student visa SWA, it is stronger for you to move on to other routes. Because charity, no, remember, say, students now at least 20 hours so wait me and our students soon so you are able to switch to other routes. You can switch to the health and care worker, you can switch to a partner route, you can switch to a parent route, provided the relationship and everything is there genuinely. You can switch to those routes. You can go to the health and care, you can go to the graduate visa 2 years. And look where you don't need an employer. Wait me so yes, possibly, but I think you are better off switching to another category rather than to switch from. It's like downgrading from a student route to a charity worker route. Possibly, but it's not an option that I would advise somebody to do unless you have no other option and you want to go there for 12 months before you apply. But I think one other thing I think I've seen here about the charity work is you have to apply from does it say you have to apply from outside applicants inside the UK temporary worker applicants outside the UK temporary worker visa? Yes. Yes. It doesn't say you cannot. I think you can, but I can take a look at it again. And if you cannot, I will let you know. Yes. So it doesn't say. So yes, you possibly can switch to the charity worker route. I think you can. It doesn't say you cannot, so I think you can. All right.
So that's it for now. Lawyer, I think say Mami Abasu Bisaya. I think so I can't wait it though. Maybe I find joining we are
Put the requirements from the charity company.
welcome.
Well, David Man Camp, this particular one. Also, the requirements from the charity company. Also, there are different charity companies or charity institutions or organizations here in the UK. Ebia any amo, their objective, their purpose. Tisenia may call online to see me pulling out charities. To see my course, I have pulled out 161 charities, 161 charities, and we have more of them. We have the Open Society Foundation, we have Bloodwise, we have Coalition for Marriage, we have Population Matters, Hearing Link, Tear Fund, Labor Behind, Muslim Hands, Pesticide Action, Business in the etc. Business in the UK, OCD. Now, every one of them Bail for Immigration. Bail for Immigration is a charity. I'm also supporting for. Now, every charity and its objective or its purpose. And to say who contact you na who say here way and away and away. We may not have the same requirements for all the charities in the UK. So please contact the charitable institution or the organization you want to work with, request for their requirements. They will send it to you. No one shall say whether you meet that or not. And if you meet it, then you can liaise with them and proceed with your application. DJ, I think that's about it really.
Nice one. So I think Cecilia no many questions we answer. I think we'll be okay. Lawyer, you better say we be ultimate program we educating any idea. I hope I say contact Lawyer Wisdom Akawa. The numbers na screen so no. One kasa lawyer mo address no mo UK na London no mo UK on be no. Me de me ma address no dia onim say ahwe na makoka
Say your doesn't market. Okay. All right. Hey, wise smart solicitors. Wise DJ Nyami Emerson next week Nyami Aduma. Manya a lot of requests on my WhatsApp to look at the aware for the marriage application from Ghana again, and I'll
Oh,
take
sir.
a look.
I think say treaty sign your money in and ask almost abisa.
Yeah, treating it I think twice or three times in book, but still, I mean, I'm getting some requests for it to be treated again. So, I mean, at my next week, I'll take time and go through it again, just for people who don't understand certain things to at least get it clearer. Yeah, yeah, about two or three times, but we'll still do it again for the sake of.
And lawyer, what they say? Ah, well, yeah, I'm on show video now. Some videos in the delete.
We didn't know what I was doing.
Sanka, I delete videos in their file, but videos them no I ain't say oh.
Well, you are the boss, so.
Because me also I say I 2 or 3 times a video sing until the other say bia or over page na
Yeah.
SVTV number bia lawyer
Marriage.
SVTV or YouTube number lawyer anka on keke videos nyina beba
Yeah.
and a topics
Okay.
here treating nyina so I think
Yes.
so afini e be sa be ka sanka ya delete video ni dia ani dia make say problem delete video yi adi so wo ana
And then you kind of pepper, but
adi omo afi no ma join ya omo ebia say ya sisi ya afi no bia join ya wa messy we say anka o ebia live ni wia na anka wa hwe so o hwe a ebia no anti bibia because questions bia no jotiri nyina ebia next week e bibi no ba no a chipping sa question na anka wa answer no
yeah.
ana no wa contact o so numbers the all na bibia so na abi a chipping no wa answer no but ade you treat it 2 or 3 times yes aba be come biom na kwa say repeat the same thing ana me na ya make
Yeah, very sure.
okay so be say treat and dia e betimi answer but me feel say
Let me summarize it. I'm a woman. Na sometimes say nipa na etie mom na so ebia or questions be ebia mesa ye bi na say be follow up questions be I will be more than happy to
na so me catch me say please allow lawyer to educate us how Master so afiro wa be join here dia ko YouTube na ja Facebook no na Facebook there em say nanse na me start system here live wo your videos nya o YouTube it wo dey echi wo afiro oni abo so o Facebook there all fine but if you want to know more about this man go YouTube abeg the videos dey there you go see everything obo UK o the bo SVT ko SVT na bo UK lawyer interview am ni here o London nyina o bibia o person hu bia o abeg anyway
okay.
obi say green card be mean ti the can I say
Green card. Can they give you green card after service? Oh, green card, yeah, America. America na green card system. UK, yeah, either limited leave to remain, and indefinite leave to remain, and citizenship. So we have limited, discretionary, indefinite, British citizenship. No, they don't give indefinite after your service because it's supposed to be for 12 months. And until American says, over do here within that 12 months, not set with circumstance, exercise, then of course, over to me as we cheap. But so once we have 12 months, not set, will be Saniku, not so circumstance and exercise. And then you say, one, 1%, over of explore other options. One officer will go back to Ghana and say that will be approx left to you.
And nice one so lawyer how there the okan na nyame adoma next week say the people crowd between the no afem and
They know from yes. And solicitors.
obi so bisa bibi
How about housing, or you have to find your own place to stay? Well, that is all going to be between you and the charity, the charitable or the charity institution. Some of them may have a place for you to stay for maybe a month or two before you look for a place. And now they may have hostels for you. And as a one casa will be aware then of course you can also provide that. But it is all down to their requirements, and when they liaise with you, they will then tell you more about what they need and how you can meet those requirements. So, only among your contactor will be asking questions which, for all you know, they don't need those things. But when you get in touch with them, maybe they don't need much from you. They will then let you know and help you to progress your application. Thank you. And your wise smart solicitors, you was suit 18 to 20. You was suit 8 to 9, the print house, number 18 to 22, Ashwin Street. In other words, or let me put it this way: wise smart solicitors, 8 to 9, Ashwin Street, 18 to 22, Ashwin Street, print house. Your door number 8 to 9. The street name is Ashwin Street, and the main office number is 18 to 22. So 18 to 22, Ashwin Street, 8 to 9, the print house. 18 to 22, Ashwin Street, 8 to 9, the print house. Your first floor, postcode E8 3DL, E8 3 Delta Lima. Our Dawson Junction. Telephone numbers no, 0208, that is +44 208 0165 384. That is +44 2080 165 384. Mesan Sisibium. I was screen so anyway. +44 20 80 16 5 38 4. 0208 0165 384. And any office number, and Mumfre office number to either book appointments or for telephone consultation, then we can log you into our appointment calendar. Or you can call or send me a message 07931 411 042. 07931 411 042. Ufra mobile number now. We may not be able to have a lengthy conversation, but Ufra office number now booking appointments, then we can talk and talk at length and also have a proper consultation. Nyame ediyem kwanchen that's the next.
Yeah, obi di abebomo.
Asia. I said, please, lawyer, is there any way Wiseman solicitors can help one acquire a visa outside the charity visa? Well, what we do is we put out the laws that are there. You say, Abia, our say, for instance, so what worry, what relationship more, you want to come as a spouse, as a partner? Yes, Wiseman solicitors can help you acquire your visa to come to the UK. We are student, on your admission, who pursue your application? Yes, Wiseman solicitors can help you submit the application to get your visa to come to the UK. We are charity worker, want a certificate of sponsorship? Yes, Wiseman solicitors can help to submit the application for you to come to the UK. You want to come as a visitor? Your bank statement, pay slips, tenancy agreement, every evidence to show you are established and connected to Ghana. Yes, we can submit the application on your behalf. So yes, these things we can do for you to submit the application to come. What we cannot do is say, yes, by all means, 100%, ubenya visa. And no dear, it is down to the case worker who is considering the application. But we can assess the documents, submit the application, assess everything, and see your chances of success, and then we can submit the application to support your intention to come to the UK. And today, I think I have responded to all the possible questions that could have come up today. Nyame Adumwa, that's the next year sign this year.
Nice one. You better lawyer wisdom akao ase. Say every Friday 5:30 bia no be kan ho. Nti better na say. Your family DJ Nyame mo amohwe so nyina mo dem comment by questions by. I think so answer will be big shout out to Munya Madam production team ase. So mo share SBTV Africa. The voice of the community. Me there. enche me ne lawyer AK Pokus be ono me ne na 1 or 2 be US for mo pese mo ko US ni ade mo US problems 1 or 2 be mu yan lawyer AK Pokus me ne Steve Ward is a Canadian lawyer so aye or Canada ono so me ne na videos in the doors where channel no so you follow there actually you go miss things and I mean Aisha Germany Aisha says oh aboku me sane na babiom Aisha Germany me other countries me underground we be say me dey we other countries to be Australia money other places to be banti small who follow SBTV Africa you no go miss am things dey talk Charlie me da ma say we share mo kroma ka say 2 na ma just 2 so 2 Makramo am share on Facebook, mon join on YouTube, so mon subscribe na mon like na mon share. Tua makramo. Me ko. Pew.